Also, I became the president of another organization. And finally, I became the coach of celebration of North Dakota importance. When I was working there, they needed someone to lead to make the program better. So I took that and I was working all of those three things at the same time. After that, I agreed to become the service coordinator for the Deaf Board of Establishment for North Dakota. And I met with two different people, and the three of us agreed to give authority to CSD. We put the headquarters in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I'm glad that we agreed to set up the headquarters there. I then became the admin assistant for 3 years. And then when I came back for a special position, I was the editor. And I moved to a different town to work. For the last 8 years, it was just me for the whole area of North Dakota. Finally, I retired when I was sick, and I moved back to California to live with my mom. My family agreed to move with me to Celebration Lane. The sign for it is this. I was there for 7 years. After that, I moved to an independent apartment with amazing staff that were able to assist me in all my needs, which really allowed me to be able to be more independent. I am a strong believer in offering independence to people with disabilities. We shouldn't be saying we can't. Instead, we should be telling them they can. Most importantly, talking about people with cerebral palsy. So I joined a group with people with cerebral palsy and who are also deaf. I joined in 2005, and I was the vice president of the organization. It allowed me to explain how cerebral palsy is, what it's all about. We realized that we set up a meeting in Washington, D.C. to discuss ourselves as deaf with CP. There were some people who were saying there were no deaf people with cerebral palsy. So we set up this organization, which was kind of like a club. It really allowed us to socialize, and then later it became a more formal organization. Similar to the National Association of the Deaf, but it's just more focused on deaf people with mobility disabilities. So the president of 21 years stepped down, and I took the president position. I worked very hard in that position. It really sucked, the amount of work I had to do. They would SimCom for deaf and hard of hearing people. Many others were trying to have equality. But the one goal that we were all working through was the same, which was about funding. I remember the different perspectives that we had. People with mobility disabilities against people with other disabilities had different perspectives. I explained how to work with an interpreter because a lot of interpreters don't know how to work with someone who is deaf and has cerebral palsy. What's important is that there is going to be struggles and you need to relax. It's going to be okay. Sit down with the deaf person, communicate with them back and forth, learn their signing style. Secondly, learn their background. Third, you want to be comfortable with their knowledge of their signing, their language skills. I remember that one of my friends who has become an interpreter, when she first met me, she was so scared to communicate with me and work with me as being a deaf person with cerebral palsy. But as she became more and more comfortable with my signing, she ended up being a great interpreter. Some deaf people have a more intense version of cerebral palsy. You really have to pay attention and analyze their signing. Some will still depend on you, on the interpreter. Anyways, thank you for watching me. I enjoyed being here. Bye.